Good evening to all of you. Good evening.
Good evening,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
In the last class, we discussed the first stanza of the poem, The Road Not Taken. Did you all go through that first stanza?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. The poem total comprises of 4 stanzas and we finished the first stanza. Okay. So what is the peculiarity of the poem, The Road Not Taken? The poem has got a connection with the poet's life. So undoubtedly, we can say that it is an autobiographical
Poem.
poem. The poem was published in the year. Do you remember the year in which it was published? 1912. And what was a momentous decision that the poet had to take in his life? He had to move from his native country, that is from United States, to settle in London. Okay, that was a momentous decision that the poet had to make in his life. Now let me ask you a few questions just to make sure that whether you have followed it or not. Shangiri, first question is to you. Who is the speaker in the poem?
I'm the poet Robert Frost.
Who is
Traveler.
Yes, that's answer. Okay, the speaker in the poem is a traveler. In the bracket, you can write poet. Okay, the speaker in the poem is a traveler. Okay, what was poet confused about? Shivanya?
Ma'am, he was standing in a wood. He had 2 ways in front of him. He was confused which road he should choose.
Yes, the poet was in the midst of the forest and he was standing at the junction where he found 2 roads in front of him. And he was confused because he did not know which road to choose. Why did the poet feel sorry? What did the poet felt sorry about? Anlia?
Ma'am, he could not travel the both ways. He can
Yes,
only
the
travel
poet
on
felt
one
sorry
way.
for himself as he was not able to travel both the roads at the same time. The poet felt sorry for himself as he was not able to travel both the road at the same time. What did the traveler do by standing at the junction? Now, see, this is a problem. When the teachers start asking questions, all the videos will start, I do not know.
He was thinking which road he should choose.
Yes, Shaza?
He was thinking which road he should go.
Yeah, the reason why he was standing at the junction is he was thinking which way he has to choose. Okay, by standing at the junction, what did he do? What did he do by standing at the junction? He thought which way to be chosen. At the same time, he looked at both the roads as far as his eyes could reach. Okay. So that is what we discussed in the previous class. Do you have any doubts regarding the first answer?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No doubt. Okay, all right. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So in the
Ma'am,
last
I have
class.
one doubt.
Yes, Midun, please.
In first answer last, to where it bent in the undergrowth.
Okay, you have doubt regarding that line?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, well, I'll just read the first answer, then I'll explain that line. 2 roads diverge in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. So the poet has come to a deep autumnal wood, where he find 2 roads diverge or separated in front of him. Remember, the meaning of the word diverge is separated or split into 2. Okay, and immediately the poet understands, or the traveler understands, that it is not possible for him to travel both the roads at the same time. And in order to come to a conclusion, or in order to come to a decision, the poet stood at the junction for a long time and he looked at both the roads as far as his eyes could reach. I hope all these 4 lines are clear to you.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
All right. And the 5th line, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Bend here means lead, bend. Bend means not bending down, but the word has got another meaning. That means lead. The poet was looking at both the roads just to see whether it was leading to the way that he wanted to. Okay, so the word bent means lead. And undergrowth, what do you mean by undergrowth?
Small plants or bushes.
Yes, yes, very good. Undergrowth means small plants or bushes. Okay, so bend, the word bend means lead, and undergrowth refer to the small plants or bushes that grow on the ground. Small shrubs or small plants that grow on the ground. Is that line clear to you, Midun?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay. Moving on to the next stanza. Then, yes, do you want to see the screen again? Bent means lead, and undergrowth refer to the small bushes or small plants that grow on the ground. Now look at the second stanza of the poem. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps a better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. Okay, then took the other as just as fair. What do you understand by the word fair? What do you understand by the word fair? Can anyone tell me? Sometimes when you play and one of your friends is not
Ma'am,
playing in the
he will
right
say,
way, you may
"It's
say,
not
it's not
fair,
fair,
right?"
it's not fair. Yes, Shaza? No, have you all
Ma'am,
heard that? It's not
yes,
fair.
ma'am.
Yes.
When do you say that? What does it mean?
Ma'am, when they do
It's like
something wrong,
wrong,
like not
cheating
trimmed
or
right
Yes.
way.
So fair here means equal or similar. If I write it here, is it possible for you to see?
I'm changing the
yes, ma'am.
color.
Oh, yeah. Let me see whether I can. Somebody is drawing on the screen. I think I'll choose white color. Can you see it now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Fair means equal or similar. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps a better claim because it was grassy and wandered way. So from these lines, can you tell me which road was chosen by the poet? The first road or the second road? Any guess?
And the
Second.
second road.
The second road. Okay, the poet chose the second road. Just mark it, just write it down in your book. The poet chose the second road, then took the other. Other here refers to the second road. Then took the other as just as fair. When the poet looked at both the roads, he thought that both the roads are more or less the same. Okay, that is why we are using the term fair. Both the roads are more or less equal or similar, because the poet was not able to identify, or he was unable to choose which road he has to travel. So when he looked at both the roads by standing at the junction, he found that both the roads are more or less the same. So he thought he will go with the second road. There was one peculiarity for the second road. What was that? What was that? It was grassy and wandered way. Okay. The only reason why the poet chose the second road was it was grassy and wandered way. What is special about that? Yes, yes, I'll explain. What was the peculiarity of the second road? It was grassy and wandered way. Okay, the poet stood at the junction for a long time to make a decision which road he has to choose. And when he looked at both the roads for a long time, he thought that both the roads are more or less the same or equal or similar. Then he chose the second road. The reason why he chose the second road was it was grassy and wandered way. Grassy, you know what is grassy?
Filled with grass.
Yes, filled with grass. Grassy means filled with grass. But what do you mean by wanted where? Wanted. Write down the meaning, children. Wanted means lack of, or deficiency. Wanted. The word has got a different meaning. Normally, when we use the term want, you need something. I want an ice cream right now. That is the meaning. You need something now. But here it has got another meaning. Wanted means lack of or deficiency. And where refers to the footprints of men. Footprints of men. Where, W-E-R, refers to footprints of men. Because it was grassy and wanted where. The poet decided to choose the second road because the second road seemed to be filled with more grass and it lacked footprints of men. That means, can you explain?
Many
Lacked
did not
footprint?
travel that road.
Yes, very good, Shivanya. Many people have not traveled through that road. Okay, many people have not traveled through that road. So the poet found two roads in front of him and he was quite confused which road to choose to travel. And after standing at the junction for a long time, he looked at both the roads and he found that more or less both the roads are same. But he thought of choosing the second road. The reason is it was grassy and wanted where. The road was filled with grass and many people have not traveled through that road. Are these three lines clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, shall we move to the remaining lines?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am.
Though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. What do you understand by the term warn? W-O-R-N, warn. Warn means use. Use. Worn out. Sometimes you might have heard the phrase worn out. Huh? Worn out means damaged. Damaged because of constant use. Okay, damage because of constant use. Worn. So here worn means use. So write down the meaning. It's very, very important that when you learn poems, you have to learn the meanings, the word meanings and the inner meanings, literal meaning as well as the inner meanings. So always make it a point to write the meanings in your text. Though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same, which means the poet, when he started to travel through that road, he came to understand that both of the roads were used almost in the same manner. Okay. The reason why he chose the second road was he thought it was not traveled by many people. It was a new path for him to explore and it was filled with grass. But once he started passing through that road, he understood that both of the road were equally used. Is the second stanza clear to you, children?
yes, ma'am.
Yes. Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I hope I can proceed with the third one.
Yes.
Yes. Third stanza. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way. I doubted if I ever should come back. Catherine, just read the lines once again, the third stanza.
Then took the other just as fair.
Third stanza.
Third chance. And both that morning equally lay. I leaves no step had.
In leaves, no step.
In leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubt if I should ever come back.
Yes.
Last line also.
That's enough. Third stanza is enough. Okay, now listen, children. Now the poet says that he is talking about the decision that he has made. Okay, so he goes into his flashback. He says, after making the decision to travel through the second road, he says, when he came the next morning, when he came the next morning to travel through the second road, he found that both the roads were equally laid. Look at the line. And both that morning equally lay. Both. What does both here means? Both means
Both the roads.
both the roads. Okay, both the roads. And both that morning equally lay. Now he says that after making a decision to travel through the second road, he says that the next day he came. Okay, the next day he came at the same junction to proceed with his journey. So the next morning when he came and when he looked at the road, it was equally laid. How come? How come it was equally laid? What is the season? Which season are we talking about?
Autumn.
Yes,
Autumn.
we are talking about autumn season. What is
Autumn.
the speciality of autumn season?
Yellow.
Yes.
Falling.
Yeah. The trees shed their leaves. Okay.
Leaves.
The leaves will be yellowish in color and you can see a lot of leaves falling on the ground. So when the poet came the next morning to travel through the second road, he found that both the roads were equally laid. Both the roads were filled with yellow colored leaves. Children, are you able to imagine? It's a forest.
Yes.
It's a forest. The poet was standing at the junction. He saw two roads in front of him and he was quite confused. He was in a dilemma and he thought or he reflected for a long time which road he has to travel. And after making a decision, he went back. Okay. And the next morning when he came, he found that both the roads were equally laid with yellow color leaves. Why did the poet choose the second road? What was the reason why he chose the second road?
It was
It
Grassy.
was grassy. It was grassy and wanted well. The road was filled with grass. At the same time, not many people have traveled through
Travel.
that road. Okay, that point should be there in your mind. The second road, the peculiarity of the second road was it was grassy and wanted well. That's the only reason why the poet chose the second road. But next day, when he came to travel through that road, he found that both the roads were laid in an equal condition. That means both the roads were filled with
Equal.
lots of yellow colored leaves. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am.
So the poet says, and both that morning equally lay. Both refers to the two roads. The next morning when he came, he found that both the roads looked similar, alike. In leaves, no step had trodden black. Trodden. Trodden. What do you mean by trodden? Trodden means walked. Walked. Trodden. Tread, trod, trodding. So trodden means walked. So just imagine, children, if you are going to a village area or a rural area where you don't find tarred roads, you can see small pathway, is it not? Small
Yes.
pathway, muddy roads. And on the
Yes.
side, you can see small plants or bushes. So if the leaves have fallen on that road and if many people have walked repeatedly one after the other, what will be the condition of the leaves?
Will be crushed.
Will it remain fresh yellowish
No,
in color or will
no.
it change its color?
Ma'am, it will
Will
change.
it
its
change?
color.
Yes, yellow color will change to brown,
No.
isn't it? Brown or to the extreme dark brown. Okay, so here the poet is using the color black to show that it was completely grayish in color. So the yellow colored leaves, the poet says that the next morning when he came to travel through the second road, he found that both the roads were covered with yellow colored leaves because it was autumn season, and in leaves, on the leaves, nobody has walked. Okay, in leaves, no step had trodden black. Nobody has walked so that the leaves color did not change to black. Is that clear? Children, are you able to follow?
Yes, ma'am.
Only Shivani and Midun, only these two children are responding. What about others? Are you finding the poem difficult to grasp?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. Oh, ma'am.
Please do open your mouth and tell me. Are you able to follow?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, Salin, tell me, why did the poet choose the second road? Salin? Switch on your video and give me the answer. Why did the poet choose the second road? Hmm. Hmm. Why, girl? Do you remember that chapter, children?
Yes.
Yes. Why, girl? Salim, come on, tell me. Few minutes back, you told, ma'am, yes, I understood everything. Now give me the answer. Alana? Hmm. Why did the poet choose the second road? Be louder.
It was lazy and wandered where?
Because?
It was grassy and wandered where?
Yes, because it was grassy and wandered where. Okay. Then what happened the next morning when the poet came to travel through the second road? Neema, what happened?
Um,
Mm.
next day when he came,
Hmm.
the both road so many grasses was there, but no footprint was there.
Hmm. Was that the kind of explanation that I gave you? Next morning when the poet came, yes, both the
Equally
roads
less.
were
Both were
equally filled with
Equally less.
grass, yellow
yellow
leaves.
colored leaves. Okay, next morning when the poet came, he found that both the roads were equally covered with yellow colored
Yellow
leaves.
color
or
leaves.
water leaves. So he says, in leaves no step had trodden black. Nobody has walked on the roads the next when he came the next morning. Okay, so the poet was unable to fix the road that he chose earlier. Oh, I kept, again the poet says, oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. The poet says that, oh, I kept first for another day. I kept the first because it's not possible for me to travel both the roads at the same time. It was tough for the poet to identify the road that he chose earlier. But anyway, he decided to go with the next one. Oh, I kept the first for another day. He thought that he would travel through the first road on some other day. Yet knowing how way leads on to way. What do you think about that line? Do you agree with that statement? A way leads on to another way. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Just imagine that you are traveling by car on a highway, and after reaching some point, you find two roads. Two roads
Yes.
separated in front of you. You either have to choose the road to the right or to the left. Okay. You have to choose any one of these two roads.
Yes.
If you're planning to go through the right path, the road which is on the right side, after traveling for quite some time through that road, will you be able to come back?
No,
Why?
ma'am, because we have already reached.
Yes, you have already reached at a particular point, and if we are ever planning to come back, it will consume a lot of time and effort. Okay. So when I give you an example with regard to traveling on the road, it's quite possible, but it will be a wastage of time, money, and effort. But when it comes to life, if you make a wrong decision, that will affect your entire life. Okay, that is what poet is emphasizing here. He says that, oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way. I know that one way leads to another way. One path will lead to another path. Okay, it goes on just like a chain. And he says, I doubted if I should ever come back. So the poet is still now perplexed. He is in a dilemma. He doesn't know whether the decision that he has made is right or not. He has a doubt. He has got a fluctuating mind. He doesn't know whether he has to come back and take the first road or not. Is that stanza clear to you, children?
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we have one more stanza to do. Shall I complete it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
All right. The last stanza. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverge in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. So, in the final stanza, the poet says that he accepts the fact that just because he has chosen the second road, great difference has made in his life. He says, I shall be telling this with a sigh. Shall always comes with future, isn't it? Future tense. Will or shall always comes in future. So he says, while he was writing this poem, he says that maybe in future I may be telling this with a sigh. What do you mean by sigh? Sighing. Sighing means?
Taking a deep breath.
Yes, yes. Somebody said. Who gave me that answer? Alan. Yeah, very good, Alan.
Oh, ma'am.
Sigh means? Yes, who gave me that answer? I'm not able to point
I
out.
think Thomas.
Who?
Thomas.
Thomas. Okay, okay. Anyway, it's correct. Sigh means to take a deep breath. Okay, sigh. Write down the meaning. Sigh means to take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. So there are a situation when a human being sigh. Can you tell me which are the two situations? One situation is when you are so much relaxed. Huh?
Ma'am, when you're going to do something.
When you're so much relaxed, you give a deep breath. You give out a deep breath. Okay? And another instance is when you regret of some mistake that you have done. You take another deep breath. Okay? Sigh. So I shall be telling this with a sigh somewhere ages and ages. After years and years pass by, maybe I will say this with a sigh. Two roads diverge in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. The poet says that he took the road that was traveled less by people, and that has brought a lot of difference in his life. So when you read the poem, you have to connect the poem with the poet's life. Okay, just because he took a momentous decision in moving from America to England, he was able to become a popular poet. If he had remained in
To London.
yeah, sorry. Yeah, London. Yeah, London and England both are the same, right? So, yeah, just because he moved from United States to London, he was able to flourish himself as a renowned poet. Okay, so we can conclude the poem by saying that the poet has made a good decision, but at the same time, in a way, we can say that he regrets a bit about his decision because he was not able to become popular in his own native country. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
So just go through the poem twice or thrice. Okay. And if you have any doubts, you just mark it in your textbook. I'll clarify it in the coming class. That is tomorrow. Okay. We will also discuss poetic devices. Okay. All right. So thank you, children. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.